Hi, this is Les Levine, the self-proclaimed voice of truth and reason in Ohio sports. I've been doing sports talk in this town since 1989. I know how tough it is to get people to talk about baseball. Many of you think the game is too slow, too boring, and maybe even too simple. You obviously didn't watch Game 6 of the ALCS on Saturday night. In the last 3 innings, you would have seen a diving catch in left field made by Michael Brantley, which he miraculously turned into a double play. Then in the 8th, DJ LeMahieu of the Yanks tied it with a home run, silencing the Houston crowd, at least until 5'6" Jose Altuve crushed a 2-run walk-off home run off Aroldis Chapman to send the Yankees home. For you people complaining about the Yankee big money, in the past decade, the Indians and Yankees have been to the World Series the exact same amount of times, once. Baseball is the greatest game ever invented. Starting tomorrow, we may have 7 more chances to prove it. Jeff Schudel is here. More Sports and Les Levine is on the air. From the worldwide headquarters of More Sports and Les Levine, it's a Monday night, it's a brand new week. Good evening, everyone. Welcome once again to More Sports and Les Levine into its 24th consecutive year and seen exclusively on cleveland.com. Jeff Schudel is here. He covers everything. Is there anything you don't cover?
Not off the top of my head. Well, I don't do high school soccer and the cross country.
Oh, yeah, you need a day off.
We got a guy who does that, but
yeah.
Guys who do that. But it's still a great job. You know, I was out of Browns practice today.
Right. Some people work. It's not work to you, right?
No. I mean, you know, I enjoy it. You know, and I'll go home tonight, probably write a Cavaliers preview for their season starting on Wednesday. And boy, you are so right on your opening commentary there on that Game 6.
It was an unbelievable game.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, if the Yankees had won that game, I wouldn't want to. I mean, that Game 7, now Garrett Cole will start tomorrow night. So that was huge for the Astros.
Yeah, just, you know, you never know when it's going to happen. Out of nowhere, the LeMahieu home run was out of nowhere. I was expecting the 3, 4, or 5 batters to come up and do something. Right. And then all of a sudden, LeMahieu hits this home run that just got over the outstretched hands of
George Springer.
Of Springer by, well, it landed in the second row.
Yeah, I mean, and if he'd have been as tall as Aaron Judge, he would have caught it.
Yeah, without jumping.
Right, yeah. And so you're right, that was a great game.
So who do you think is going to win, or who are you rooting for? To me, Houston has an unbelievably great team, and you almost want to see them win it just to show how good they are.
Yeah, I mean, I think Houston will win. They're certainly the betting favorite. But I'll tell you what, you have the Nationals have some pretty good pitching too, right? Strasburg and Scherzer. So I mean, I think now they look like they could be 2-1 games. Watch them be 9-7.
Right.
You know?
And you know what? The irony of it all that you lose Bryce Harper, and then they go on to win the National League.
That's exactly right. They lose Bryce Harper and get to the World Series. The Indians lose Michael Brantley and don't make the playoffs. So. But I mean, and the Nationals cut payroll, whether they did it intentionally or not. Their payroll is smaller this year than it was last year.
Right. It would have to be without Harper.
Right.
216-575-0403 if you want to talk to Jeff Schudel or me or anybody else about what's going on. This portion of More Sports and Les Levine brought to you by the Ohio Lottery. All right, you were out of practice today. They won't let me out because I'll question the attempt to score twice in the last before the 2-minute warning.
And
no,
you might have got an answer. We've certainly pursued that line of questioning, but you know, you're really good on those timing issues.
Yeah, I would have said, "Excuse me, Mr. Kitchens, I believe I heard you say that you were trying to score twice in the last 2 minutes. Is that correct?" Yes. Guilty, Your Honor.
Yeah, and that was still really weird because. Yeah, and then he pointed out today. Well, look at the Cowboys scored twice. Well, it was a lot different. It was totally different. They weren't rushing and panicking it. They never expected, I don't think, to score twice, but the Eagles couldn't do anything on first down.
Well, Wentz looks terrible, doesn't he?
And so they got the ball back, and it worked for the Cowboys, but
this is Russell Wilson you're talking about.
Yeah, you weren't giving the ball to the Seahawks.
All right, so you were out there, and so was Kareem Hunt. What did you see? What do you think? What's the vibe out there?
Well, I think people are excited to have him back. It's kind of strange, Les, because the NFL said 8 weeks, no contact with the team, and then he pops up there at practice today. And
did they ask if it was legal? Well, it must have been.
Well, yeah, I mean, the league said it. Yeah, no, it wasn't a secret. The league said he could practice.
Right.
No, it would be a real story if he couldn't practice, but he was.
You should hear the show that's going on in my ears sometimes. They're carrying on their own show, and it's a lot funnier than what we're doing.
I can imagine. But it was good to see him back. Now, I think what's important, Les, for him to be back now is when that Buffalo game comes on the 10th, he'll be ready to play.
Right.
It's not like he showed up or he could now start practicing November 4th, and then all of a sudden he wouldn't be ready to play in 6 days.
But he gets a couple of practices here. All right, so what's going on in the trade department? It looks like John Dorsey's calling Washington every day. Is he not getting the hint, or is he? What is he trying to do?
Well, I think that I'm probably in a minority. I don't believe Bruce Allen. I think he will trade Trent Williams before the deadline. I don't know what he has to gain by not doing that.
Oh, I do. I know what he has to gain.
What?
Right. Let's say it's the Browns. Right now, he doesn't know what draft pick that's going to be. The Browns could move up. They've got a relatively, at least on paper, a schedule at the end that looks like they can win some games. So I'm not sure Allen knows exactly what he's bargaining for.
Right. That's true. But I think that a team like the Browns are somewhat desperate to get help. So I think they would overpay. They would pay more now than they will in March.
Right, because unlike other situations where you want to trade for the future, they need it. The trade is for now.
Right.
From the Browns' point of view.
Right. I mean, you look like what Jalen Ramsey, the cornerback from Jacksonville, forced that trade. The Rams gave up a first, 2 firsts and a second, I believe, for him. A first in 2020 and in 2021, and also a second-round pick. So I think, and because they are desperate for a cornerback, so I think that a team now would pay more for Trent Williams than it will in March.
Okay, I have an observation. I have to fess up. I've come around on this. The quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens can play quarterback. He's much better than I thought he'd be.
Well, he is, and whatever the Browns did to him, the Browns...
They're the only ones who did anything.
Right. And, so I think that had to be I hope the Browns play more games like that, but that was by far their best game. But you're right, Lamar Jackson. I mean, I didn't see that coming.
No, I didn't see it.
Them going out to Seattle and scoring 30 on that team.
Didn't see it either. 216-575-0403 is the number to call. Jeff Schudel is with us. There are over $6.25 million paid out in the Ohio Lottery pick games each and every week. With that amount of winning, you can stop by your local retailers, try your luck with the Pick 3, Pick 4, and Pick 5 instant lottery games. Not lottery, but the Pick 3, Pick 4, and Pick 5. We'll come back in a moment. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/More Sports Les Levine, with new content posted each and every day. Jeff is with us. We'll take a break and come on back. We'll hear what Freddie Kitchens had to say. More Sports and Les Levine, seen exclusively on cleveland.com.
Downton Casino now has sports betting. Use one of the 50 state-of-the-art Bet America kiosks to place your bet. Then watch your favorite games on our new HD televisions or visit our new sportsbook area. Only at Presque Isle Downton Casino.
The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education program recognizes role model students and teachers from across Ohio. Nominations can now be done completely online. To nominate a deserving teacher or student, go to ohiolottery.com. In the About section, find Partners in Education. There you will find links to the nomination forms. Students kindergarten through 12th grade can be academic all-stars. Teachers can be honored as a Teacher of the Month. The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education, where stars shine.
I think you're always looking to get better from a personnel standpoint. But listen, talent's not the issue here. We need to play better. We need to coach better. So that's what I would say to that. I know that you're wanting to hear that we need a better so-and-so position, whatever. But that's never going to be the excuse here. We need to play better, and we need to coach better. And once we do that, we'll start winning games, and these questions don't come up.
All right, I have a request of Freddie. Drop the "we got to coach better" routine. It gets tiresome at this point.
It does, and but that you're right, and you have to play better. Right, no fooling. But
the only thing about coming out and saying we got to coach better, what you're doing is giving John Dorsey, Freddie, or Jimmy Haslam, you're giving them an excuse if and when they have to do what they might not want to do.
Yeah, and you know what? That's going to be interesting. I certainly do not advocate, and by any means do I advocate making a coaching change now. But it will be interesting I don't think they will. Let me say it this way: they won't be as patient with Freddie Kitchens as they were with Hugh Jackson. I could pretty much guarantee that.
Well, yes, but Jackson turned out to be not a likable guy. Freddie is likable. You got to win more games, but how do you not like the guy?
Well, you can't not like Freddie Kitchens.
And he's got a huge amount of hats in his closet.
And he looks sort of like Santa Claus without the beard.
You know what? It happens every time, somewhere along the line, whether it's game 2, game 6, game 8, or whatever. New coaches use the media as an excuse. When it gets like, you guys want this or you guys want that, that gets old also.
You're right. And Nagy, the coach of the Bears, he played the media card today, or I don't know if it was yesterday or today, but he played the media card.
Why? They were terrible.
Right. So he's telling his players, hey, don't let these guys, meaning the media, don't let these guys affect the way you play. So he created the media as the enemy from wondering how the Bears could play as badly as they did against the Saints.
Well, he should coach better.
Yeah, he definitely should. And
meanwhile, Mitchell Trubisky is coming off the injured list, but he's struggling there.
Yeah, he had a tough day yesterday, and it was a bad beginning for him because he hurt that shoulder. And I watched that game when he was hurt, and you could tell right away that was a nasty injury. So I really hope that he gets it together, because not just because he's from our area, Les, but man, you can't meet a nicer guy than Mitch.
All right, so you've got Kareem Hunt coming back. His last regular season game was October 19th, 2018, last year, a little over a year ago. Here's what he did in the 17th season. You can see with 272 carries, 1,327 yards, and 8 touchdowns, 53 catches, good for 455 yards and 3 touchdowns. That was in 2017. 2018, 181 carries, 824 yards. He was the bulk of the running game at Kansas City was him, though.
Right. I mean, he did that in 11 games last year.
Right.
So he obviously would have had another 1,000-yard season, assuming he stayed healthy those last.
And he can catch the ball.
And he can catch the ball. And so if he'd have been on the roster, that would not have been Dontrell Hilliard going out for that pass.
Right.
With 3 minutes left in the Seattle game.
I think you make a good point that he's should be game ready by now, which he might not have if he couldn't come to practice this week.
Right. Yeah. So I think the Browns got a break from the league by him returning today.
Well, you're looking at 2017, 1,327 yards. That's a good year right there.
Yeah. I mean, he led the league as a rookie, and I mean, as you pointed out, him as a receiver, he looked so good that rookie year.
And by the way, the guys blocking for him, most of them are from Cleveland.
Yeah, offensive linemen, the Browns either rejected or weren't smart enough to re-sign, like Mitchell Schwartz, their right tackle.
Is there a problem between, I mean, right now you've got phenomenal running game right now. Browns are second in the league in the running game.
Right.
So you complain about the offensive line. They must be doing something right when they're running the ball. And Nick Chubb is obviously the one there. Do you think there will be a problem between Chubb and Hunt?
I don't think there will be. I mean, because we just know about you can't find a nicer guy than Mitch Trubisky. Well, Nick Chubb is right there. I mean, I love talking to that guy. He is so humble. And I do not think he will have any issues at all. And I think Kareem Hunt will be happy to be playing football
He should be
again.
happy to be there.
So I think they'll find a way to work it out for both of them.
216-575-0403 is the number to call. Mike Massetta standing by. We're going to talk to him, find out what Mike is thinking. We will do that. Northeast Factory Direct has 3 great locations, east, west, and south. South, of course, the new one on Freeway Drive in Macedonia. The ones that have been there longer on West 140th in Cleveland, and Lakeland Boulevard, that's in Euclid at the old B&B appliance store. 3 huge bare-bone warehouses. They pay about 1/10 the rent that you'll find at the big stores, and they pass the savings on to you. It's filled with some of the same stuff that you'll see at a number of stores, but the significant difference at Northeast Factory Direct, these items are priced at half of the regular retail and sometimes even way more than that. If you want nice big-ticket items to improve your home and you want to pay half of what most people pay, you've got to go to Northeast Factory Direct. Northfield Park is your home for live and simulcast racing. You've got racing on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with the post time 6 p.m., Saturday and Sunday post time 6:40, but they're open at noon every day for simulcast action from all over the world, and the weekly Sunday contest featuring Belmont, top prize $500 in cash each and every week. Jeff Schudel and I come back in a moment. More Sports and Les Levine, seen exclusively on cleveland.com.
No other company or product can match the features, benefits, and warranty of an authentic Nature Stone floor.
There was moisture in the basement. It ruined the carpeting. The smell was terrible. We didn't feel safe in our own basement, and that's when we called Nature Stone.
And with Russell's Promise, our true unconditional warranty, you will never have to replace your basement flooring again. Get Nature Stone installed by the end of October and save up to half off. Schedule your free cost estimate easily online today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Oh, gosh. Playing Ohio Lottery Pick 3, I see. What are you going to do? A box bed, a split pairs, or a wheel? Well, old Picky Ricky here is a straight shooter.
Okay.
It razzes my berries when newbies think betting's hard. Straight bets are easy peasy. Just match 3 numbers in order and win the old-fashioned way. This, on the other hand, is not so simple. Oh, God. Oh, jeez Louise. Play the Ohio Lottery Pick 3 today.
There are tastes we remember. Every smell brings the happiness of times gone by. Experience this every time you walk into Gallucci's Italian Foods. Whether you need lunch on the go, a catered party, or that perfect blend of wine, meats, and cheeses, Gallucci's has exactly what you're looking for. Straight from Mama's Kitchen for old world traditions or original experiences. From the tastes you remember to new flavors you'll never forget, Gallucci's is a tasty branch of your family tree.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
This portion of More Sports and Les Levine brought to you by Northeast Factory Direct as well as Tri-C. Here you got the birthdays for today. Whitey Ford, the great Yankee left-hander. Rally Cap, 1947. I thought you'd like that.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Appropriate.
Zach Greinke, who's going to be busy this week, maybe. Ricky Rubio and Greg Robinson. Happy birthday, Greg. I don't know if you're going to be playing Sunday night.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
I don't think he will be.
I don't either.
Who are they going to put there? That's a question. Will it be Kendall Lamb, who went there briefly for him, or will it be Justin McCray, who we spoke to today?
This stayed in sports history. A guy named Carlton Fisk hits a home run in the Game 6 of the World Series in the 12th inning. Red Sox, your Red Sox, Jeff, defeat the Reds 7-6 to force Game 7 in Fenway Park. That's
I think
one
I
of
was
the
doing
great
the same
games.
thing Carlton Fisk was in that.
Same thing. How about, I remember as a hero of that game for a while, Bernie Carbo. Hit a 3-run homer, I think, in the 8th inning.
Yeah, people forget about that one because of what Fisk did.
Right.
But, well, that was another heartbreaking series.
Yeah. Well, not really if you hate the Red Sox like I do. But they're way behind the Yankees in my bad book.
Yeah, good.
Let me say hi to Mike Macetta, who's a fan of everything. Wow, it's Mike Macetta. Hello, Michael.
Hi, Les. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Jeff Schudel is bemoaning the fact that he's a big Red Sox fan, and he's happy that Carlton Fisk hit the home run, not happy with what happened after that.
Yeah, that was a bad Game 7.
But I think as long as the Yankees and Red Sox can lose, it's okay with me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get the Red Sox thing. I mean, I understand the Yankees. I could be a closet Yankee fan. They got a lot of history. Red Sox have a lot of history, although most of it isn't very good. So I never understood the Red Sox fan base, but there's a lot of them. They're all over the place.
Well, I'll just tell you mine. I hitchhiked up to Boston with my friend in 1972, walked into Fenway and fell in love with the park, and then I've been a Red Sox fan ever since.
All right, let me tell you my history. 1972, well, make it 1970, I walked into a bar, and there was a beautiful woman there. I've been a fan of beautiful women ever since.
One of the great movie lines of all time. Robin Williams.
Which one was that?
Oh, that's from Good Will Hunting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when he's telling the story about Carlton Fisk's home run.
Right. My memory goes back to lunch today.
Yeah.
All right. What's going on? We were talking about baseball being the greatest game ever invented, and they showed it in Game 6 the other night.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a phenomenal game. You know, Yankees, you know, I give them credit for getting as far as they did, you know, in the playoffs, just generally speaking, with as many injuries as they went through. And, you know, they were hurt right through the playoffs, and they certainly didn't have the pitching staff to compete with the Astros. But they beat Verlander, you know, to get to that Game 6. And then they almost came back and won that game. Yeah,
it just shows you whether you're a Yankee fan or the Astros. The Astros are a team that it looks perfect to me. I said the other night that you watch a game with the Astros and you say, okay, they just got through the lineup. No, wait a minute, they got 3 more guys to go through here. I mean, each and every guy provides something.
Right.
It's all right. I haven't seen anything as dense as that in a long time.
No, I mean, you have to kind of root for Michael Brantley, don't you? I mean, I don't think you should be angry with him for taking free agency and
an
signing
extra year,
because the Indians really don't think made much of a play to keep him. So he went to a team where he thought he could get to a World Series, and he has. And he made that phenomenal play, as you said.
You know, they put up on the screen last night the other night after the game, and it said Brantley, 11 years in the league, his first World Series. I'm going, wait a minute. The Indians won in 16, and I totally forgot he was injured the whole year.
Yeah, that was a really bad year for that poor guy. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
But didn't he pinch hit a couple times in the World Series?
He did, but he wasn't ready.
Oh, so that's right. So they put up the wrong thing on the screen.
Yeah, well, technically he was there, but he was not he was not ready to go.
Mike, we've had an off week here with the Browns. What do you expect coming back? Unfortunately, they've got the schedule doesn't do them any favors. They've got the New England Patriots on Sunday. What are you thinking about them?
Well, I actually think that with the week off, look, they're not necessarily in as bad a shape as everybody thinks that they are. They just went through a gauntlet of teams. Although Seattle losing to Baltimore, particularly the way they did, doesn't really help with this theory. But they did go through the gauntlet of teams. If you take into consideration their 4 losses, You know, they've lost to 4, you know, really good teams, and then they got to play New England coming off of a bye week when New England's got a Monday night game against the Jets. This could be one of those trap games for New England, and it could be the game that really turns the Browns season around. Although their offensive line is in shambles right now, guys, and that's a huge deal for any team to have to overcome, especially against the defense that the Patriots will bring to the table.
I'm going to guess that Bill Belichick, when the schedule came out and it showed he's got a Monday night game and followed by the Browns at home, I don't think you're going to catch Bill Belichick by surprise. Nothing is going to surprise this guy based on what he's seen over his many years of coaching.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to let his team have a trap game. You're right, it could be that, but we've known Belichick now since 1991, and he is not going to let his team overlook the Browns.
They may not overlook them, but it wouldn't be the first time that the Browns beat the Patriots in a trap game like this.
No, you're right.
They did it a few years ago.
You're right, and they do get Kareem Hunt. No, I'm sorry, Kareem Hunt will be ready the next week. It would be nice to have Kareem Hunt now. How about the fact that Josh
Gordon?
Pardon?
Josh Gordon.
The wide receiver. Come on.
Gordon?
Yeah, Josh Gordon. How about the fact that really hasn't provided much for them?
Well, you know, he was injured, and so I don't think he's playing tonight. But who knows? I mean, watch him do something against the Browns.
5 touchdown passes.
You know, I want to say
interesting too about Brady. You know, if you look at his numbers over the years as a quarterback, other than when he had Randy Moss, he really doesn't throw to the big wide receivers on the outside as much as you would think he does.
No, you're right. He just tears teams apart.
He likes to throw to the underneath routes and to the tight end. Those are his favorite targets.
Yeah. Jeff, I think you've probably seen you've seen the Patriots play more than I have this year. Do you see any lightening up on Brady? I mean, is he starting to? Is the age starting to show, or don't you see it?
Well, all I know is they're 6-0. I mean, they really have a good defense this year, and I don't know how many years we've read now that Tom Brady's going downhill, right? And they go to the Super Bowl. Does he miss Gronkowski? Sure he does. But, I mean, this is a winnable game for the Browns for sure. And I agree. They can't be 2-5. If they're 2-5 and the Ravens are 5-2, that's a big hill to climb.
That win over Seattle by Baltimore yesterday really hurt whatever the Browns were thinking.
Right, and now, you know, but then again, if the Browns beat the Patriots and they're 3-4, everything will look a lot better.
Totally different. How about Jamie Collins? That Belichick gets rid of him, comes to Cleveland, and then takes him back.
Yeah, and he's playing like.
Thank goodness for bringing me back.
Yeah, and I wish he'd have played like that for the Browns. So we'll see. I mean, you know what I want to say? Well, Mike's with us still. This theory that the Browns have an easy second half schedule, I don't agree with that. Arizona looked like an easy team at the beginning of the year.
Not today.
But they've won 3 in a row, and nobody thought the Bills would be 5-1 at this point. And to think for sure the Browns are going to sweep the Steelers, I'm not on that train.
Hey, let me ask both of you guys this. What does the 1972 Miami Dolphins team do when the 2019 Dolphins don't win a game? Do they still drink the champagne?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Well, that'll be tomorrow night's.
That's a How Come Quickie, I think.
That's tomorrow night's How Come Quickie, if I can remember it.
That is a good one.
All right, Mike, tell me who's going to win how many games, the World Series?
Oh, man. I'm gonna go Astros because I just think that they're the best team in baseball, and I'm gonna say they're gonna get it done in 6.
All right, they got great pitching.
That's
sounds about right to me.
Yeah, I mean they really are well balanced. They are the best team for sure.
All right, Mike. Wow, it's Nature Stone. Thank you for joining us as always. We'll talk to you soon.
You got it, guys. Thank you very much.
All right, Mike. Mike Masetta from our good friends at Naturestone. 216-575-0403 is the number to call. Explore your interest and find a program at Tri-C that puts you on the path to a bright future. Tri-C offers more than 1,000 courses and over 140 career and technical programs. Go to edu for more information about all the programs at Tri-C. We'll take a break. We'll come on back in a moment. Thanks to Mike Masetta from Naturestone. Jeff Schudel is with us. More Sports Les Levine continues exclusively on cleveland.com.
As a kid growing up, my dream was to go to college, play baseball, and get a degree. Coming out of high school, I had two choices. I was accepted into a four-year university, but I decided to come to Tri-C after receiving a scholarship. I got my associate's degree at Tri-C. They transferred all my credits straight into Baldwin-Wallace, so I started at Baldwin-Wallace University as a junior. My name is Tyler Leonard, and I earned my first degree at Tri-C.
The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education program recognizes role model students and teachers from across Ohio. Nominations can now be done completely online. To nominate a deserving teacher or student, go to OhioLottery.com. In the About section, find Partners in Education. There you will find links to the nomination forms. Students kindergarten through 12th grade can be academic all-stars. Teachers can be honored as a Teacher of the Month. The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education, where stars shine.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family cool this summer,
let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes Smiley One Heating and Cooling. Find them at 440-449-HEAT.
Nothing's changed for us. We're worried more about us than the Ravens. We play them again. We're worried about us. It doesn't matter if we don't get better, and we continue to get better, and we do what we're supposed to do. We can only control us. That's what you're describing is across the league. You know, there's 16 happy teams a week, not counting the buys. There's 16 happy teams and 16 teams that the world is ending. All right, so we just want to be one of those happy teams more often than we're not. So we're trying to stay focused on what we can control, and that's how we practice today and how we prepared in the meeting, and then we'll worry about Wednesday, Thursday, and on down the week. And then when we get to Sunday, we need to put them in a good position to make plays, and they need to make the plays.
There you have it. Freddie Kitchens wants to be a happy team on Sunday.
Yep, and he said that same thing since he got here.
Right.
Do this on Wednesday, get better on Thursday, etc. So.
All right. So tonight, as you know, our control room is made up. It's Alex night at the control room.
Yeah.
Everybody in the control room tonight is Alex, and they name themselves that just so that we know who they are.
Right, and they get to go home. Anybody named Alex gets to go home at 7 o'clock.
Right. So Alex came in and said, we've confirmed it, that Brantley was not on the World Series roster in 17.
Yeah, I think.
Or 16.
Right, and I think I got mixed up, so I got confused. But it was in the ALDS against the Yankees.
Right, exactly.
That he, because he was injured that year. That was the year he hurt his ankle.
And that was the year that Encarnacion got hurt also, right?
Right. That was such a nasty
play at second base.
Oh man,
thought he broke his leg.
I mean, I've seen football. I remember watching. I was coming to a game in Seattle when Clay Matthews hurt his ankle,
right,
and his knee was pointing north and his toe was pointing south, and that's sort of what that injury looked like to Encarnacion.
He could have played in the East-West Shrine game. All right, so tomorrow's night's guest will be Alex, whichever Alex emerges from the control room. 216-575-0403 if you'd like to get in. Jeff also covers the Cleveland Cavaliers. What is there to cover this year? What will be a good season, or what I mean, they're not going to win more than 20, 25 games, right? If that.
Well, Vegas, very good, has the over-under at 24.5.
Oh.
That's pretty good, Les. And Prescott Downs. And
excellent. You get to come back again.
And so, I mean, I have them winning 27.
Okay.
And I figured they won 19 games last year. I think if Kevin Love can stay healthy, that's a big if. But if he can stay healthy and he's still on the team near the trading deadline, I think they could win 27.
All right, so I don't mean to be nasty about this, but don't you think the Cavaliers will be the team that when the better teams look at the schedule and see the Cavaliers coming up, that's when some of the guys with slight injuries will be taking off that night?
Well, yeah. I mean, they probably will. I mean, at least in the beginning, right? We'll see what happens. And, I really like John Beilein, the new head coach.
You can't help but like that guy.
You can't help but like him. You're right. And but he had missed. He was just on practice today saying we have a lot of work to do, and the season starts in about 48 hours.
And they keep adding guys, subtracting guys, the guys that wouldn't be helping that much, but they're still mixing up at practice time. They're still mixing up the roster a little
right,
bit.
and he's not sure who will start at least he probably knows in his own mind, but he's not telling us who's going to start at point guard, whether it be Delly or Darius Garland or what.
Do you think that he sits there when practice is over and it's bedtime at the Beilein household, that he's saying, what the heck did I get myself into?
He might be. I mean,
the money is one thing, but
right.
that's a different story.
Right.
He's going to lose more games in a month than he loses in seasons.
And I don't think he came here for the money. I'm going to guess that he was. I don't know what he was making at Michigan. I don't even know what he's making here.
Well, my guess is he was making $3 million at Michigan per year.
Wow. And so he doesn't. So he hasn't said, "Honey, I got to work and we can't retire." So I think it's a challenge for him, and the Cavaliers have to be patient. Obviously, they haven't. All these heavy contracts they can't get rid of.
Speaking of that, and hopefully everything's right with Dan Gilbert, the team met with him last week when they were in Detroit for an exhibition game. Is he calling the shots? Is Len Komorowski calling it?
I don't want to answer that question because I don't know. So I can't answer
it's jumbled at the top also. So, hopefully everything works out that way, but somebody's got to make decisions.
I'm hoping that they let Kobe Altman, the general manager, make all the basketball decisions.
Right.
Because I'm not sure that that's Len Komorowski's strong suit or Dan Gilbert's.
No, he's the business guy.
Right. So they should let Kobe Altman make those decisions.
216-575-0403 is the number to call. No gimmicks at Northeast Factory Direct. No deceiving blowout sales. No typical retail nonsense. Just 3 huge bare-bone warehouses filled with some of the same stuff you're going to see, but way less cost because they pay about 1/10 what most of the big stores pay for rent, and they pass the savings on to you. They're now in their 20th year of business, which is unbelievable. If you want nice big-ticket items to improve your home and you want to pay half the price of what most people pay, you've got to go to northeastfactorydirect.com, West 140th Street in Cleveland, the old B&B Appliance building, that's at Lakeland Boulevard, and the Freeway Drive, that's in Macedonia. Check them out every day at northeastfactorydirect.com. Sokolowski's University Inn, it's their 45th annual clam bake, and it's every Saturday in October. What do we have? One more Saturday, I believe. And it includes, it starts at 4, goes till 9. You can make reservations at 216-771-9236. It's the best clam bake in town. Chicken and hand-cut prime New York strip steak and clams and broth and clam chowder, redskin and candied yam potatoes, and sweet corn, garlic toast, pumpkin and apple pie. Getting hungry?
Oh, I am getting hungry. That sounds so good.
Then call Sokolowski's University Inn, Cleveland's oldest family-owned and operated restaurant. The winner of the James Beard Foundation Award about 3 or 4 years ago. Only 5 restaurants in the country make it each and every year. We'll come on back in a moment. We've got a How Come Quickie from our writers department. Alex came up with one. And then we'll do How Come Quickies in the final segment. We'll take a break. We'll come on back in a moment with Jeff Schudel. More Sports Les Levine, seen exclusively on cleveland.com.
No other company or product can match the features, benefits, and warranty of an authentic Nature Stone floor. I had an epoxy-based sand paint on my floor that deteriorated, and that's why I called Nature Stone.
Why paint? It's expensive, it's ugly, and it doesn't last. Nature Stone is always affordable. It's beautiful, and with Russell's Promise, our true unconditional warranty, you will never have to replace your garage floor again. Get Nature Stone installed by the end of October and save up to half off. It's not just a floor, wow, it's Nature Stone.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a line. A long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Presque Isle Downton Casino now has sports betting. Use one of the 50 state-of-the-art Bet America kiosks to place your bet. Then watch your favorite games on our new HD televisions or visit our new sportsbook area. Only at Presque Isle Downton Casino.
All right, time for a How Come Quickie. How come only one of the Harbaugh brothers can win big games? Jeff, you want to respond to that?
Whoa. That's for sure.
It's a legitimate question,
That is a
isn't
legitimate question.
How about Jim Harbaugh kicks a 55-yarder when he should have punted?
Yeah.
Tries to kick a 55-yarder.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of pressure on him up there. He has 2 years left on his contract.
Right.
And they don't, I don't think there's any talk about extending it.
With the kind of money he's making, there is no pressure on him.
Well, that's true. You know.
All right, this date in Les Levine history, October 21st. Today this happened. After a couple of days, Les still cannot believe that Freddie Kitchens thought he could score twice before the end of the first half on Sunday. It was a bad calendar management situation. Instead of bad clock management.
Right now, Les is the king of clock management questions during press conferences. So
I've been off my game the last year or two, but I think I'm making a comeback.
Yes, and yeah, I wish you'd have been there that Monday after the
I'd like to
that Seattle
on
game.
behalf of all clock management people, I just want to apologize for not being there.
That's still.
Seriously, why should I know more about clock management than NFL coaches?
Maybe you're smarter.
No, I'll tell you, I have an answer for it, by the way. You and I and people like us see more games as they happen than NFL coaches do. They know X's and O's. They can stop the play. They can do whatever they want, but they don't really see the game in action and see when to call the timeouts and when not to call the timeouts.
And I think there's a lot to that because he's thinking about calling this play and he's thinking like a play ahead.
Right.
And
which
that's
is
why
why
he needs they have like 21 assistant coaches. How about having a time management
Well,
coach?
I've applied for every regime that's been here in the last 25 years, and so far they've not given me an interview.
Well,
but that's one reason a rookie head coach should not be the offensive coordinator also.
And and today he dug in today basically saying that he was right.
Well, okay, he wasn't. Last week, Dorsey had his press conference, and they asked him if he was happy with Kitchens and what. Of course, he has to say he is and Mayfield. Kitchens and Mayfield were his two biggest choices that he had to make once he got the job, right?
Right.
So he's not going to knock it. If he has to do something somewhere along the line, there's wording for that. But of course, he has to stick by his guys at this point.
And you know what? I'm not giving up. I wouldn't even think about giving up on either of those guys after 6 games this year, since we thought they were so great last year. But
you've got to see how this plays out,
right? And I wrote this for today, Les. I think the Browns miss Ken Zampese, who was a quarterbacks coach last year.
A Hugh Jackson
hire. Hugh Jackson guy. he was a quarterback's coach in Cincinnati from 2003 through 2017.
Right.
And he had
Credited
Carson
with,
Palmer as a rookie.
Dalton.
And Andy Dalton. And he had Kitten in there. And he did a lot with Baker Mayfield last year. So I'm not saying...
Well, is that paranoia that you don't want guys from the previous regime still with you? Although Kitchens got hired as the quarterback, whatever he was last year, got hired with Zampese there, so they had to get along a little bit.
Well, he was hired as a running backs coach, and strangely, he had a running backs coach, assistant head coach title with under Hugh Jackson. So I think John Dorsey kind of foresaw what could happen, and I don't know the inner workings of did Ken Zampese not want to be here, or
well, if he wants to work, that was an opportunity.
Right, and Ryan Lindley, I'm not knocking him either, but he was a graduate assistant at San Diego State a year ago, and when the coaching change was made, he was hired to be the running backs coach. So he had that job for a half a year, and now he's a quarterback coach.
Let's take a look at our Facebook question of the day. That is, will you be watching the World Series? Jeff, I know your answer.
Definitely.
Yeah, me too. Tim Gebhardt says, I love the Fall Classic. Glad the damn Yankees are out. Jay Slagle, who apparently is from Florida, says, no tribe, no watch, even though both teams have their spring training at the same ballpark here in West Palm Beach. Joe Ray says, yeah, all of it. Baseball's the best sport. Love it. Go Nats. Barbara Mooney, great historic matchup. Can't wait for tomorrow night. Hope that Michael Brantley, Joe Smith, Jan Gomes, Asdrubal Cabrera, and my other favorites do well. Glenn Berger says, yes, I'll be watching. Two real good pitching staffs. Both teams have are good hitting teams. Houston should have the edge in the bullpen. Keith Gallus says, nope. Joel Kruk, ditto. My friend Lawrence C. Butler says, Washington's going to shock the world.
I'm going to go back to that classic matchup.
Oh, of the two teams, one that hasn't been in baseball for while they were up in Montreal.
Yeah. I'm not sure that.
Well, you would have had damn Yankees had the Yankees won and they going up against Washington.
That was
that was
a movie, right?
That was a movie.
A play, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. 216-575-0403 is the number to call. Northfield Park, your home for live and simulcast racing. Live racing on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with the post time 6 p.m. And then Saturday and Sunday, the post time is 6:40. It's open early every day at noon for simulcast action. Weekly Sunday contest featuring Belmont. Top prize $500 cash each and every week. And Lady Luck's Clubhouse is open every Saturday with a buffet for just $15.95. Call 330-467-4101 for reservations. Free admission, free parking every day at Northfield Park. We'll take a look at some How Come quickies that were set in. Some pretty good ones, I might add. More Sports and Les Levine continues with Jeff Schudel, brought to you exclusively on cleveland.com.
No other company or product can match the features, benefits, and warranty of an authentic Nature Stone floor.
There was moisture in the basement. It ruined the carpeting. The smell was terrible. We didn't feel safe in our own basement, and that's when we called Nature Stone.
And with Russell's Promise, our true unconditional warranty, you will never have to replace your basement flooring again. Get Nature Stone installed by the end of October and save up to half off. Schedule your free cost estimate easily online today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
There are tastes we remember. Every smell brings the happiness of times gone by. Experience this every time you walk into Gallucci's Italian Foods. Whether you need lunch on the go, a catered party, or that perfect blend of wine, meats, and cheeses, Gallucci's has exactly what you're looking for. Straight from Mama's Kitchen for old world traditions or original experiences. From the tastes you remember to new flavors you'll never forget. Gallucci's is a tasty branch of your family tree.
The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education program recognizes role model students and teachers from across Ohio. Nominations can now be done completely online. To nominate a deserving teacher or student, go to ohiolottery.com. In the About section, find Partners in Education. There you will find links to the nomination forms. Students kindergarten through 12th grade can be academic all-stars. Teachers can be honored as a Teacher of the Month. The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education, where stars shine.
All right, tomorrow night, Bud Shaw will be here. Wednesday night, the D-Man, Dennis Maniloff, and then Thursday it'll be Paul Hoynes. A week from tonight, Doug Lee Maurice of the Plain Dealer on cleveland.com will make a return appearance. All right, you know how this game works, Jeff, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Quickies. Don't give them a 10 because they may tip their cap and walk away, and I need them to send them in here.
I feel like I'm one of those Dancing with the Stars type shows.
Exactly. All right, so this is from Cleveland Bill, who must be an historian. Is it an historian or a historian?
I know it's an historian, I would say.
An historian.
Because the H is kind of like
silent H.
An historian, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, you gotta be a little historically involved here to get this one. Cleveland Bill writes, how come the reporter complained that Eisenhower, Patton, and MacArthur only gave him general comments?
All right.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
You're struggling there. All right, put it up. 8.5. Very good. We're finding out who the generous graders are. So far, that's about what I would have given. That's a pretty good one, though. Mr. Gullible. How come the math teacher who is afraid of negative numbers will stop at nothing to avoid them?
Well, that's good.
So far, we got history stuff. This is like high school. What, a 9.2?
9.2.
Should have given him a negative something.
Oh, that would have been good.
Yeah. Well, so far, we've covered school, math, and history. Mr. Gullible now comes in with health hygiene. How come the most hygienic musical instrument is a tuba toothpaste?
He's hot.
He's hot tonight. Wow.
I like that
9.4. Wow. All right, here comes John Patrick. You ready for John Patrick? How come when my doctor said you should get exercise, I thought he said you should get extra fries?
Oh, I'm in a good mood.
Yeah, let's see. Go ahead. Okay, I would have given them both the 9.2, but 9.3 you edged out. Mr. Gullible got edged out by John Patrick. But Mr. Gullible did it in quantity tonight.
Yes, he did.
By a 2-to-1 margin. And Cleveland Bill, those were good.
I like that.
A tube of toothpaste. Those were excellent. All right, you got about a minute or so. What do you have that you'd like to... Closing comments here.
Well, we can talk about what should the Indians do now. I think by the time I might be back on,
right,
it'll be free agency.
Why, do you know something I don't know?
Well, I'm hoping
well, you won't be on in the next week. You know the schedule.
Right.
Okay.
So
free agency starts when?
I think it's right after
the World Series.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
I mean, that's when the filing starts, and I'm not sure exactly when you can
I think you
signing.
Put them out on the market.
Mm-hmm.
And you see what you could get at this point, and you say to these people, this is not a bargaining issue, it's give me your best shot.
Yeah, I mean, unlike most free agency in the NFL and the NBA, it really drags on in baseball.
This is quick. But give me your best shot. If not, we'll pursue other avenues. The quicker, if they're going to trade him, the quicker they trade him, the better chance they have to get something in return.
Right?
Lindor? Yeah, if they're going to trade him, the earlier you trade him, the better your offers will be as time gets closer to spring training.
I think you're probably right.
On the other hand, if you keep him until you don't have him anymore, you could have him walk away and you get nothing, which would be 2 more years. You could get nothing, but you could also win a World Series by then with him.
Yeah, that's a tough call. I think you keep him because
all the way.
Yes, because you're not going to win that World Series without him. Probably, right?
You're not going to get there, although it's still a bad division for a while, another year.
Yes. Well, the White Sox, I think, are getting better. I don't see the Twins winning 101 games again. But
Cleveland is set to do that with the pitching staff.
Right. And, I mean, there's some holes still in the outfield, I think, for the Indians. When they had to find a second baseman, that's not like...
Would you make a bargain basement offer for Kipnis if nobody? I mean, nobody's going to pay $13 million for him.
Right. Yeah, I would. I mean, he was a great team guy.
Good clubhouse guy.
Right. And he'd go do whatever you needed. You know, hey, go play the left field. We need you out there.
Right.
And like in 2017, I think it was.
Yeah.
So maybe it was 8. I get my years mixed up too, Les.
I do too.
But
I still got 48 and 54. That's easy.
Yes. Yeah. So right. So the Indians have some work to do. I'm not as satisfied with the bullpen as Chris Santinetti. Now, certainly he knows way more than I do. And sort of like you said about John Dorsey, Chris Santinetti's going to say, man, our bullpen is awful. But they have to.
He's never going to say that.
No, and it wasn't awful. It wasn't awful. But I think that needs some. Has to get a little stronger.
Well, all right. So the thing circling back to Lindor, you can either keep him for the 2 years and then just say thank you very much for the effort, and he'll say thank you very much for the millions of dollars you made me it allowed me to practice signing $1 million contracts here. You could do that. The question is, do you want to get like value for him? You can't get like value for him.
No, you're not. You would have to get younger guys and
that you're absolutely sure of.
That's the thing. How you're never sure of. I mean, look at
how you know you're not sure of? The trade they made with Milwaukee when they got Brantley, who was the best of the bunch, and he was kind of a throw-in on that deal.
And you look at the Yankees when they traded Andrew Miller. Those guys, I mean, Clint Frazier still really hasn't contributed to them. So I mean, they made that trade in 2016.
And isn't that unlike the Yankees to sign a prospect?
You would think, you think so, but when they traded Aroldis Chapman to the Cubs, they got Torres and some other guys,
that's true.
And now they got Chapman back. So
who, by the way, gave up the home run.
Who gave up the home run? I was not unhappy to see that. But I mean, you never know. And I mean, don't you look at the Indians when they got Reyes, and they knew Puig was going to be a rental for
Puig.
Bauer. They knew Puig was going to be a rental on that deal.
Would you make an offer to Puig?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I think he's a good.
He's not going to get double digits either.
Yeah, he was a goof when he was with Dodgers.
Right. He's on his best behavior here.
And he was really good here. Yeah, and so that would be a real surprise if they kept him.
All right, we got to go. Great job by Jeff Schudel. We will, it won't be in the next week, but not long after that. You'll get the call to the bullpen.
I love coming out here and being with Les. It's a highlight of my week. It really is.
The 9.2, 9.3, pretty high praise, no question about that. All right, we got to go. We'll see you tomorrow with Bud Shaw of all the shows I've ever done. This was the most recent.